Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a homeopath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Before I started this, we're testing tech right now. Mom is actually watching me live on the Tube app that I have on the Fling, whatever, Xfinity's cable boxes. But if it makes the dogs nuts, they might freak out. Like, why is Margie, like, because dogs don't understand. So I'm going to make sure it's working. I'll be right back. I'm always testing technology, people. I'm always testing stuff, making sure shit works. Boxes. See? Loud and clear? That makes the dogs nuts. Very good. Mom's in there watching me, so I gotta, well, I don't know. I used to take her to keggers when I was 15, so I just always lived my life out loud. I'm like, I'm not gonna, I got in trouble. I got caught with some alcohol. The dog found some that I had stashed under the shed in the backyard, and ever since then I was just like, I'm just gonna live out loud. So I've been living out loud ever since. My mom used to go to keggers with me. You're the only girl we know to bring their mom. Like, well, why? Why? She knows who I am. She made me. She knows all my, she knows what I'm thinking. She made me. So why am I going to keep flying to her? I'll just invite her into my world. And I've never been a part of nefarious things anyway. It's never been my heart space. I was just outside. It was raining outside, and I'm out there, and Mom starts laughing at me. I'm like, what? She's like, between your attire, I have my Van shorts on. They're long shorts, and I got my Social Distortion hoodie that I got at the show in Omaha. That was a disappointment, but what are you gonna do? I got the hoodie. But I was outside watching the water because it rained today, and so the water's come up, and it's going to keep coming up. And ground's pretty saturated right now, and so it don't take much, and so it's kind of interesting. I found some. I've been packing stuff up. I found some. It was kind of really cool, actually. My grandmother Edith on my father's side passed away. Christmas Eve. I've said before on Christmas, I said, because I thought it was Christmas for a long time, but I did find her actual obituary, and I was wrong for that. It was Christmas Eve, the 23rd. Other things have happened on Christmas Eve too, like maiden flights of freaking significant arsenals. Anyway, I found a letter from her that she wrote, because I love writing letters. And handwritten, I love this stuff, it just takes you right there. When I was in basic training back in 2000. I also found this Snowman Poop. I think they started out as marshmallows, and I got them like 20 years ago. It's before I went into basic. They're in my same basic thing. I was looking at it, and I was like, I thought, because I went up to North Pole, Alaska at one point, a couple times. But these I actually got at the Sacramento Zoo. Anyway, but I came across these, and because I always like, wherever I went, since is how I always brought Mom with me when she couldn't go. I always included her. I used to, when I'd go grocery shopping on Sundays, I talked before she lived with me, I'd call her. Or, when I couldn't drive on base. Back in 2000, because I got in trouble, made bad choices. Got a DUI, so I couldn't drive on base for a year and a half or whatever it was, So I have to park at the back gate and then freaking walk across the golf course. I had a collection of golf courses, of golf balls to my dorms, Calling Mom. Mom was always there. Mom is always there. That's why I try so hard to keep her with me, because one day she ain't gonna be here, and I'm gonna have a life full of memories, So I remember this. I was the only one that went through it. I was like the second oldest chick in the flight. I was like 25 when I went in. I was old enough to know that it was just all a reindeer game. Just, I couldn't be bullshitted. I just let me do what I gotta do, and then I'll be on my way. But I drug my feet But I was the only one that everybody else like ended in the drink, or is funny. I'm like, you young little whippersnappers, you poor little thing. So that was my time in Texas. I was like, I'm like, is it me or is Texas in the shape of a toilet? Kind of looks like a toilet to me. I had kind of a shitty time in Texas. I had some good I one time I snuck out at the dorms when I was in Wichita Falls because there's inclement weather, and I wanted to go out and experience what 90-mile-an-hour winds felt like. Oh shoot, Mom's watching this. So I climbed out the window because I lived on the first floor. I just stepped out the window outside and then walked out to the back where the parade grounds were. And it was 90, and I was only out there for a second. I just wanted to experience. It was scary as hell. It was scary as hell. It was scary. And then I went back in and I was like, all right, I did it. Don't need to do that again. Well, had that experience, move on. And the next day when we went out, they had built a podium for the TI's morning formation and give you your notes and all that, do the programming shit, and then the podium, the whole little stage that they made was gone. It blew away in the storm, like, and that thing was a lot heavier than I was. Anyway, man, you ready for the storms? The storms are coming in because they're happening in the individual. People storm, they're battling between their shadow and their light aspects, and God, light is gonna win, man. So many people. I didn't invite God into the room. I'm gonna invite God into the room right now. I'm trying to make practice of that, doing that in the very beginning, and well, you know, I'm a spirit having a human experience, and I'm still just human, so I forget about stuff. So I like to invite God into my chats in my room, and just like I invite Mom in today, just to keep me accountable, just to make sure that whatever stories that I'm telling are on the account and representation as I understand them, and they're my views and my opinions based on my frame of reference. And I will tell you, my frame of reference is cracked, and it's skewed, and I've fixed it and bandaged it and put it back together, and I kept it pretty solid and sturdy, and and it's really beautiful to see all the truths coming forward, and all the people that are glorifying God, because we have to glorify God, because the Lucy fairy tale has been winning for far too long. People have been straight up glorifying freaking Lucy. They were talking about it today on South Africa, Aquarius Rising Africa, I believe, is what her channel is called, and I gotta write her down anyway. And she talks with Jesse Zabora, and today's the day they had their chat, and they had I'm not even done with it. I've been so busy trying to take care of my, get ready for stuff, that I haven't really been online. I did meditate for 57 minutes, and that was a little heart attack, because I came out of it, and then I went outside. I went out the room to go pet the cat, and the cat wasn't there, and I went upstairs, and I was like, where's the cat? And then I was like, oh shoot, cat was gone. Cat was not in the house, and I couldn't remember. I'm like, man, I've been in an hour and a half. He's been outside probably, and he wants to be outside. I'm the only one that don't want him out that, but and I'm like, it's like, I didn't pay attention. I dropped the ball, and so I call him, and he came running. Thank God he came running. But it's just like, Marge, you gotta be more, But there's so much. That's why I'm trying so hard to be present in the moment. To just do one. When I'm cooking, I'm just cooking. And Mom's feeling better. She had some stomach trouble yesterday, but I think it was that crap. It was so funny. I went to see my friend at the laundromat today. And I was like, you know what? I said, I think it was that crappy Wally World knockoff, like in the bucket, like poor people ice cream, but their version, you know. I got her that, and I think that it was that stuff, and I was just like, I know better. I know better. How sensitive, you know. And I told my friend, and she's like, Marge, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, Marge. You don't skimp on your mom's ice cream. You only just get Umquat, Tillamook, or friggin' Blue Bunny. You don't mess around with the lady's ice cream. I was just like, oh my god, I know. I so know. I know. But I'm like, I already, what I don't think she knew is I had gone to Walgreens and got some vanilla, good stuff, Umqua. So, that, and her stomach is right on track, you know. But man, it's just like, you know, I wasn't. I know I haven't been a parent in that kind of sense, but I don't know. I love things real hard, and I take care of things best I can. Mom said she thanks me often about how much she appreciates how good I take care of her. And I was like, because she often tells me, "You have such a pretty smile." I'm like, Mom, it's your smile. I just get to borrow it for a little while, right? But she has the really pretty smile because she has had so many more years of practice smiling than I have. Yeah. Yeah, man. She got the spirit in her, man. She is a blessed being, man. She is so faithful. She's the most faithful woman I've ever met in my life because she always just said, God is going to get us through. God is going to carry us. And I was just like, you know, and then when I went down my own ego way, and I was like, no, I got this, Mom. Yeah, God's cool, but look what Marge can do. Then I went off in the Air Force, and I was a big deal, and I was a part of this mission and that mission, and I got this ribbon and that ribbon. I could do some shit, too, and there go my ego, there go my ego. And then when we came to Oregon, God went smack down. That's cool. God smack? It ain't just an old band in the 90s. 80s. Godsmack is you ain't on the path that you supposed to be, and you better realign. It's all personal choice, personal freedom, you know. Or are you gonna just advance in life, get closer to spirit? That's what the goal is. JC frequency, Jesus Christ frequency, where you just want everybody to be joyful and happy and loving. Up past all this greedy, seedy, dastardly stuff where it's like the cognitive dissonance alone is just enough to freaking, you know, going to church and praising God, but the Pope is a Luciferian? Luciflatinor? You know? I mean, it's like, it's right in our faces. And we're just like, and, you know, when people are saying, I remember, like, all this, like, thank God for, I appreciate, Don't Drink the Kool-Aid and Keegan and Pockets of the Future and all these reportive and they're, and I can't ever remember hers. Anyway, but they're all reporting, too. They're all reporting the same stuff, and now since everybody's been shut in, you know, so the white hats can get the evil, nefarious off the streets, you know? Maybe implode some of those tunnels, you know? Kind of stuff, you know? Unless we get invited by some from the inner earth, we got no business being in there, you know? We need it. We got too much to clean up here on the surface, you know? We got a lot of making up to do. Because, you know, for years, like, we've been... Now that, oh God, there's just so much stuff coming out. It's just amazing. And people, their minds are just going to be blown. They're just going to be like, what? Fucking Beyonce is like a freaking witch high priestess of darkness, and she took over for Gloria Vanderbilt, Anderson Cooper's mom, and they sacrifice their kids and hunt kids in in Wyoming for sport and all this stuff. What? It's all true? What? People are like, no, that stuff's on TV. It's on TV, so that's their defense. So that their whole defense is created on, no, that doesn't happen. it's on TV, so people are just like, oh, okay, it don't happen. And then society is run by people in all these shadow aspects of, you know, they made it disingenuous with their evilness. Straight up is what they done. And so now God's taking back the glory, and we're gonna switch things up a little bit. There's a delay. Hi, Carl. Hi, Fragine. Hi, G-Dog. Hi, Ariel. Quincy. See, you know why I like Quincy? Like FreQuency? I like the name Quincy. Too, because I used to watch that show. That he was the first forensic that was the first crime show. That's what I've been paying attention to, freaking looking at cracks and things, and I've been an esoteric Sherlock. I've always been a seeker. I've always been looking for answers, because especially in those people that always act like they're so good. I'm always trying, because I look at people as puzzles. We're just puzzles. And so I'm trying to, why are they really good, or why are they not so good, or what's there? Because everybody's balanced and has light and dark aspects in them. And when people are always acting one kind of way, I'm always trying to figure out what happened to the parts that they're ignoring and disregarding. What happened to them? Where did they run off to? Who took them? And if you ain't living a life as a human being on this planet, in this incarnation, if you haven't experienced some kind of a trauma in life. And if you get to live longer, see, because in the 50s and 60s, I mean, it was just like, what? I mean, they had to stimulate the frequency and fear and interject it in big ways by, like, atomic bombs and stuff like that. And taking out just... That is assault on the earth, So, see, that's the thing, is I always recognize universal law, God's law, just universal, like what goes around comes around, physics, just, what you reap you sow. It's all intertwined, like in our DNA, and we should all know this, and some people act it, and some people live it, and some people don't. And the people that haven't lived it, the controllers, we're all the same. People just seem to think that there's blood, and there's, demographics, and there's celestial groupings that, of this control. Because it's all in the storyline of power, life force, kundalini energy. Because everybody's powerful, just they don't realize how powerful they are. You know how powerful it is to straight up freaking rebuke Satan in the name of Jesus Christ? I mean, just, you can blast out evil with that. I mean, you can say it in a store and freaking, I don't care if people think I'm crazy. But you know what? The people that freaking know us up, and if they have the dark, they freaking stay the fuck away from. I mean, but I attract all types, whatever. I'm full spectrum, but it's also, if I always come from a place of goodness and love, then I can't lose, even if it's my time. I'm not going to go out in fear, because reincarnating isn't the scary part. Dying isn't the scary part. Living on Earth, when people so isolated and just walking around and all zombified and stuff like that, and because they're masked, and it's like, everybody's closed off and nobody wants to touch each other, and everybody's getting conditioned to stay 6 feet away, and that ain't the way. There's no spirit in that. But soon things will be entirely different. Very, very soon. We can get heaven on earth, and we're stepping in that direction. The dark are falling. The dark are falling. And careful what you ask for, people, when you want to see the vengeance, and you want to see the redemption, you want to see all the harshness that comes with people paying for their sins. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's all ugly. It's all, and careful what you know. People are like hanging people in the shit, and it's like, you really want to be desensitized to that? No, no. So a lot of stuff is happening behind the scenes that people will never know about because we don't need to know about it. But justice is being served and karma is being paid in a very, very large way. It's celestial. It's God's, it's divine order. You know, you can't. The meek are going to inherit the earth, and this is how, because everybody, we got to create an earth for the most sensitive on the spectrum, as well as the hardest and toughest and most gnarliest, and you know, we got to make a full spectrum planet. And they create the systems, the shadow systems, the political, or the, like, what was I going to change the name of the talk to? Posturing. Something posturing. Everything's posturing. Everybody's postured to do something. You need to go to college, go team, you know, it's people. When people are dropping the program, and what they're starting to do is they're with the Earth's control alt delete. They're control alt deleting their spirit, and on the reboot, they're coming into a new operating system of love and a higher frequency. And they're only going to look at stuff that, you know, is only going to be divine, and you know, to raise your vibe, you know, to help people. We are the new news. We're the new church. We're the new gospel. You know, and people like me, we're gonna be like leading the way, because I've been practicing what I've been preaching for almost 4 years. I took the whole reason why I went into the Air Force and went to college. It was all wiped away. I don't even use my call. I mean, I can use. That's what the thing is I wanna be a consultant in any capacity. You know, you got IT questions, we can do a Zoom talk. I'll teach you how to clean up your computer and stuff if I can't be right there. You know, and if I move someplace in the local area, bring it over. We'll hang out. You know, smoke a doobie. Freaking, I'll clean up your machine. I'll show you how to clean up your machine and get you on your way. $20, 40. If it takes a couple hours, $40. You know, whatever it's worth to you. Pick your price, Heyoka. We do photo shoots. That's the thing. Is my idea. I want to be the one that, you know, that is there for all of the family occasions, right? And the thing is just got my camera. You can have your own family card, and you know, and I'll hang out for family barbecues, do whatever, you know. Give me a plate of food. We'll call, you know, whatever, and then I'll just listen to my music and stuff like that. You won't even know I'm there, unless you want me to know I'm there. But otherwise, you know, I'm a fly on the wall. Take a couple hundred pictures, and then give you the camera card. You look them up, and then, you know, PayPal me what you think they're worth, or Vimeo, or whatever. You know, it's all what we can do to serve the goods and services, because government has had its hand. Man, people can't afford to live with all the stuff that government wants us to pay for. And cities and stuff like that. It's like, dude, you guys didn't use all the money that you've been taking for years and years, and the infrastructure is falling apart. So, and you know, everybody's spread thin, especially as single people, man. Single people right now? Oh my gosh. The cracks of society are just getting wider and wider. Everybody's moving back into home with their parent, everybody, you know. And I'm like, I've been taking my mom with me for 13 years. She's been with me. You know, but it's only been the last few years that have been, like, you know, a little bit more limiting. I still go out and do stuff, and you know, I just want, sometimes if I'm gone for a couple hours and I come home, the internet goes out or something. She's just sitting there, you know, and I don't like leaving her like that. So I became a work from home daughter, and I've just been trying to put myself out there and how to earn ways of supplementing income and things like that, and it's working out. God has been divine and has been blessed, and my tube is growing. My tube is getting bigger. I'm almost at 900, man. I'm almost at 900. It's taken me freaking 4 years. 4 years. Just, you You know, just telling stories about how I feel about things. You know, and I go back at the early, like go back and do the reverse search with the oldest ones, you know, and go back and see that where I was in those times, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this is where I was freaking winging myself off that freaking antidepressant that the VA gave me with the 31% suicide rate. They just, you know, all these organizations, they just pay themselves to hinder. They just pay themselves to hinder, and they pay themselves a lot of freaking money, and it's so disheartening. I keep getting these. I can't unsubscribe from the VA, the website. I keep trying. I'm like, how come their tech shit's so tight? I keep getting stuff from the VA, honoring the great. It's like, it's just horse. It's just a smack in the face, because you don't even give people what they need. You just pay web designers and honoring it. Just, it's all horse crap. It's all a reindeer game. It's all, yeah. That was my experience. Maybe that's what they're trying to do now. That's the thing, is that was my experience with it then, that it was all reindeer games. Maybe they're trying to make it something better than it was, but they never did me no good. They never did me no favors. They've been, maybe if I could sit down and talk to like somebody that matters, that's an important, and tell them my story, you know. But yeah, everybody that's important is oh so too important, so they never talk to people like me. So the whole society is going to learn to work around, because people, you're going to have to. Things are going to get tight. I hope you like stuff like rice and freaking potato, like poor people food, man. Stuff I've been living on forever, but hey, you know, everything's in moderation, you know. And look at all those brands. It's all those crap brands that are going away anyway. They sold out crap a long time ago. It's just crap food. It's just natural ingredients, and if you knew what natural ingredients was, you probably would eat a lot less of that stuff anyway. Anyway, so what else was I gonna talk about? How long have I been running my mouth? But the thing is medicine is going back into a holistic approach too. Is that people are gonna like me? They're gonna, you know, dude. My cookies are freaking healing. They are, and that's the thing, is if you can just get your body in a vibrational state that is below pain or fear, they're very, very close in frequency. If you can just get those down, then what happens is your body cells start to regenerate. So when you sleep at night, your cells rebuild each other like they're supposed to do. But when your body is in your endocrine system is in a constant state of shock, your cells don't regenerate. So ask yourself, who benefits from that? The whole medical industry, pharmaceutical, you know? But people like me, we make freaking food with can of butter. It brings your body down, your pain threshold down, your cells rejuvenate. People are starting to reverse age without the juicy stuff. The chrome dome, the dippy-da-dop, the nasty-da-gloop, the fear juice. You know, fear-mongering is a very Luciferian profitable business. But you know what? There's no spirit in that. So you're going to start recognize who's for God by, you know, people like me. It's just like, hey, if I get in a place, you know, I'm used to making extra food for people. A lot of extra food. I'm used to put, like corporate America, you have food days, you make a lot of food, you know. I get crap. I got sick of eating it. People always bring the same stuff, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's nah. But I always like to mix it up, and I'm a pretty good cook, so in the Midwest, it's a lot of like freaking fruit pizza and meatballs. Barbecue meatball. It's a lot like that show Bless This Mess that was on for a season. Maybe it was 2. Anyway, I like that show. There's a lot of cool stuff about the Midwest I like. I just freaking hate the winters, man. If the winters weren't like 7 months long and inhumanely painful, I might live there still, but that, nope. It's not how it is. So, I've been running my mouth for a while. What else was I going to talk about? Check out some astrology this weekend. There's some potentials for some volatile stuff. Or you could just not look at all, see what happens, and then Tuesday listen to some and be like, maybe I should have, because there's just some potential for some hot, like Friday night, I think is what Rick said. Some gnarly stuff, you know. And the closer we get to election, because people are disheveled. How? No wonder everybody is losing their shit. How do people know how to calm themselves down? Were they taught how to calm themselves down? Or, like, were they even taught that you don't put your hands on people? Are people taught that you don't put your hands on, you don't touch other people? Not even out of love, like, oh, it's okay. No, you don't do that without consent. I'll ask Mom, can I give you a hug? I still ask my mom if I can give her a hug, because sometimes people aren't in the mood to be loved on. I know I'm not. And so when people come in and they're like, oh, you're okay, you'll be alright, and do all that stuff, and I'm just like, get off of me. I don't even know what or who you are. Get out of my field. You know, just allow, you know, and so people are coming into their own emotions, and they're being allowed to feel their own emotions and not listening to you don't get to feel that way. You know, all that controlling stuff, it's all falling away, because none of that stuff is going to vibe on a 5D Earth. None of it is. And I think I don't think that there's as many, I don't think there's as many people on the planet as they say there is. I have always questioned their accounting abilities. The powers that be. I just watched about 30 seconds of that guy giving the census stats today. The guy in a $10,000 suit. And I'm just like, I can't even hear it. Nope. You know, people that don't follow rules have no business making them up. People that don't freaking, you know, clearly don't give a shit about people, because look at how much, you know, look, I mean, that's like three-quarters of your income for me that guy is wearing, you know, and you're going to talk about how much you care about people. It don't add up. You know, people know what adds up. People know when people are talking, what is true and what is bullshit. And for so long, we've just had to go, you know, pretend like what people are saying is true, because for whatever reason, loyalty, you know, our parents told us that what they said was true is true, so we got to believe them, you know. Just like, oh, you know, I'm 4th generation Green Bay fan. You know, and it's all sports is collecting your life force energy for their evil bidding to perpetuate their Luciferi tale. So, anyway, that's about all I got for now. I got a lot of talks to catch up on, and there's some lives tonight, so hopefully I'll see some folks in some chats. I know people are talking all over. People are, you know, like, God, man, some of these people can go for, see, that's the thing, is I don't want to be the one that's going for hours and hours and hours, you know. I'm just going to keep it simple, about 30-minute mark, and that's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. God willing, the creek don't rise. We'll be back in the morning. Hope you have